Now Lilian from Sintef will present the joint survey Colin and us talking about, and we'll see how you can do it or how you can access it in order to do it. Lilian, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. It takes a bit. Let me see. All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for all very interesting presentations. I learned a lot already. I'm actually giving the floor first to Lars again.
Yes, thank you, Lillian. Yeah, let me just shortly begin with an introduction to our joint online survey. So after an hour of sitting in a meeting, we are of course very happy to present to you our survey, our very happy collaboration with the SARIL project. So in the end, two European projects join forces to build something together. Also, very big thank you to Paolo to the EU Commission to really empower us to join forces and take these extra mile, these extra efforts. And in the end, with our projects, we want to make organizations and the whole logistics ecosystem somehow more resilient. And to do so, we aim to develop both technical and organizational solutions as the SARI toolkit and our platform and algorithm. And it's really paramount for us to develop something rooted into the challenges and the perceived issues of the practitioners, of the members of Alice, for example. And so we really just start everything, as I also mentioned, with our project process, with our joint survey. So please go ahead, Lilian. Next slide, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. And so we want to understand what challenges you are facing. You, as in the end, practitioner, as a stakeholder in the whole multimodal transportation network. We want to understand what is your role in the transportation network. So what you're doing, what's your contribution to the whole process, from the one shipping it over the one providing some software services, also just a customer, for example. What challenges do you really face in your day-to-day operations? What is it more like regulatory basis? Is it more like the market side? Just what your pain points somehow? Then we want to go to the disruption part. Which disruptions did you face in the past, and how did you deal with them? Of course, because we want to learn from you, learn from your expertise. And then we also, just as a very first step into the solution point, we want to let you think a bit about how could a digital solution mitigate the impact of the disruptions, and also what could be a digital solution, what are some requirements there. And for this, we have some 8 categories in our survey. Next slide, please, Lillian. Yes, perfect. And we explore the challenges and disruptions experienced by you in the end with these 8 categories. In the beginning, of course, we have some demographics. We want and need to understand you as a service response. Are you more like a public or for-profit organization? Also from the EU, we have there some like, are you the SME, a small medium enterprise? If you're a company, probably also if you're like, please give you us your gender and so on, to really just have their some like diversity report. And we go over to the value contribution, your role in the, we want to learn about your role in the logistics industry, like what are relevant modes of transportation for you, who are your suppliers, so who is upstream, who comes before you in the value chain, who comes after you, what IT systems do you use, how digitized are your new processes. Then we need to understand your challenges, like what's the most important challenges, what different categories, maybe what are not so important challenges, contrary to literature, like costs, infrastructure, the disruptions with their impact on your organizations. So, for example, which kind of disruptions did you really face in the past 5 years? How severe were the consequences of them, to really get an idea about not only what you face, but also are the most often faced disruptions the most important from the impact perspective? How did you deal with the disruptions? Like, do you have a formalized system for them? Do you have some handling strategies? Coming from the sustainability perspective, also, what is the environmental impact, especially, for example, shifting from the rail to the roads would have probably not the best impact, but from the environmental perspective, but probably from the economic perspective. Then also we really want to learn about the organizational resilience, like what are important attributes for you regarding the resilience, and then, as I mentioned on the last slide, also like the possible solution, like a basic understanding what are critical requirements for you for a solution, what are the really the must criteria for a solution to really convince you to solve the problem. And that sounds quite quite a lot. I think it also like that's quite some questions, but of course the number and selection of questions is not the same for every participant. In the end, it depends on your role in the process and also your previous answers. So we really, with all logic, dive deeper in the areas where you have more competence, put more content in, and to really get there very good and answers with also a very tailored questionnaire for you. And I think Lillian will go over to introduce the whole survey design afterwards.
Yes, thank you, Lars. I will show also a bit specifically how you come into the survey and everything very soon. But firstly, I want to say a little bit about the design of the study. We have a very explorative design where we work from both data and theory in developing when we develop the questions. So that means that, as mentioned before by both Corinne and Lars, they are derived from the interviews and also scientific literature. We are doing an online survey, obviously, but that allows us to collect more information, hopefully, if we get a lot of respondents. But we have a particular design, and that is a 2-round survey, a so-called Delphi design. And that means the first round is very much about to widen our horizon. So what type of disruptions are affecting US stakeholders? What different types of impact does it have? And what are strategies and barriers to these, as mentioned by Lars? But then you will get the option, of course, that's voluntary, but to participate in the second round. So here we'll present aggregated answers from the first round. So you'll get like a sneak peek very quickly into the results from the first round. But as you will see soon, you will be able to add categories to some of the questions and answer immediately on them, so that in the second round, you get more categories on some of the questions. So you get the same question back and also the chance to edit your answer actually on some of the questions. So it's a very particular design, a little bit experimental in this setting. So we're very looking forward to how this will develop and how many answers we get on that. And now here is the link to the survey. Lars will add it to the chat. So as I mentioned, to be able to use the survey for the research being done in these projects, we need as many answers as possible, and we really hope you can help by answering it. It takes around 20 minutes if you are a logistic type of stakeholder, and shorter for some of you. And we will show you how it works and how you get in. But the main reason, you will see that you will have to log in the beginning. It's very easy. I will show you how it looks. But the reason for that is we need to connect the answers from the first round to the second round. So the answers themselves will be anonymous. We won't spread it. It won't be public in any way, but it's just to be able to aggregate the data in the second round that we have this need for login information. And then it should be added in the chat, this link. And I'll dive right into answering the survey. You will see this page first, where we will need you to press register. And this just takes a couple of minutes. You will have to create a user, just provide your email, and then you will be asked to put in a password. But you don't have to confirm the password or the email or anything. It's just a registering, and then you can you just press the terms and conditions, and then you are actually in already in the survey. Then you will be coming to this welcome page where we are linking to both of the project's web pages if you want more information. And as you will see when you've come this far in the survey, we are offering different languages in the survey. We offer English, Polish, German, Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish. And that we wanted to have more languages, but the translation takes some time. So depending on your browser setting, you will get one of these languages when you open it. And that can, of course, be changed in your browser setting if you need to. Then you will come to the consent page. Here we provide more information, like detailed information about how we use your data. And in summary, it's a standardized information page. When you just click on this where we have linked further in this page, and you see how we abide by GDPR. And in some, individuals will not be recognizable. You will get a question in the survey if you want to be acknowledged in the project, so we put your company logo, for example. But all data will be anonymized and used confidentially. And of course, you have a right to have your data deleted if you want. You can complain and all of these type of things. And you just write to me or to one of the contact persons in this link if that's needed for you. And then we're getting into the main part of the survey. We have a question in the beginning, and that is, so first we ask about your role, but then we also come to the question about what organization you are. And we want to let you know this is only for quality purposes in case several from the same organization answer. So that will not be public in any form, just to let you know. We have a question about the sector you're from. And when you answer one of these, you could be sent to some subcategories, some subsectors. For example, if you're a terminal, you will be asked what kind of terminal you are. And then we have one important filtering question in the survey, and that's what kind of role transport has in your daily work, which will send you to different parts of the survey. And if you answer the top one, you would, for example, if you work very operatively with transport somehow, you will get a bulk of questions about logistics, which Lars has mentioned, where we're very interested in your answers, for example, on what kind of activities you do. For example, this, where you just click yes or no for each of these. Then you will get to one of the main parts of the survey about disruptions, what kind of disruptions you have experienced. And here you will see that you have the possibility to add indicator. That means you can add another disruption and immediately answer on the scale what kind of experience level you have with it. And you will also get questions about the impact of disruptions and handling strategies that's coming from the interviews, among others, this one. And then we have, here is the handling strategies question. What kind of strategies you use or mitigations? And then towards the end, we ask about the role your organization has within the logistic network. And you can, of course, just answer none of them if they do not fit. But if you answer one of them, you get one more question about where you can answer about attributes in your organization and contributing to these resilience indicators, actually. And yeah, towards the end, as mentioned, you will get a question about your further contribution in the projects. Like mentioned before, this is a much wider scoping of disruptions and their effect, and the target groups are different stakeholders who are affected by or are influenced after disruptions hit logistics and transport networks. So we are interested in both authorities, goods owners, logistics companies, etc. So we hope a lot of these, and you guys want to answer it. And in the second round of the survey, since it is a 2-round survey, we'll especially focus on including knowledge institutions and consultants, because then we will get more feedback on these resilience indicators that are being developed in parts of SARIL, among others. Yeah, so the more that answers the survey, the better results we're able to deliver. And if you participate also in the second round of the survey, you will be getting the chance, if you wish to participate in a lottery for a gift card of 50 euros. It's a small little, a little gift for your participation and the chance to win it. So we hope that can encourage a little bit. Yes. And then are there any immediate questions, or we perhaps don't have so much time?
Lilia, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. There is a question that people is trying to do the survey, but they can. And I think it's because they are overloading the server. But the thing is that they can register. They can go through the terms and conditions page. And I don't know if because there are too many people trying it, or Fernando. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same problem. I see I could I was stuck as well, but then I went out of the page and then used the link, and then I could finally enter. So probably the problem is that too many people at the same time joining the survey, but by doing this for those stuck should work. So then hopefully.
Okay.
So then you only need to go out once after the registration process and then click again as if it was new the link provided in the chat, and then in that way I could myself register and enter later on. Thank you.
All right. If you have any questions on how to log in, or anything that concerns you with the survey, or any questions in general, you can just contact me or Lars here. So please just let us know.
Okay, thank you, Lilian.